Lenny, hello, welcome to Majestic.
Greetings, sister.
Lovely to see you.
Lady Legs.
Yes.
Majestic Radio Foundation.
Roots Foundation.
Roots Foundation.
Oh, okay. So what do I owe the pleasure tonight?
Yeah, the pleasure is, it's great to know that we have a station within the bar once again doing good things and informing the people with what good things going on. And we decided, myself, in conjunction with Star Vibes ENT Entertainment, we decided to give you a look in and for you to explore what's really going on,
Very kind of you. Alright, so we're going to tell the listeners a little later on what's happening this coming Saturday. 26th of October. Alright, so in the meantime, let's play some tune. I'll come back to you in a minute. Alright, make yourself comfortable.
I will.
Alright.
I am comfortable right now.
And who is this? Can't tell you because you do know.
Roots! Yeah! It's Super Sass Galamaikas Ashtava Man Foundation.
Roots Wednesday, Lady Legs Majestic Radio, and of course another Roots Wednesday edition. So again, we've got Lenny Ranks in the house. And of course Star Vibes Entertainment, alright. So in the meantime, welcome, 25 minutes up to the hour of 9 p.m. We're going to have a little conversation with Lenny.
Yes,
Conversation.
Oh,
greetings the world and London, right here on Majestic Radio Foundation, you don't know. Every time, Lady Legs intrigued me immensely. Lady DJs and for years I've been kind of following you on Mr. Kung Fu, and it's great to know that the heights reach where you're round the decks and almost yours and informing the world of the good work. So tonight is your night in conjunction with RJR, myself, and also Star Vibes, because I'm a RJR promoter, so I have to give that a little plug. Not much, but it's all about Majestic Radio and Lady Legs and Kung Fu tonight and Star Vibes ENT Entertainment. So I'm going to kick off with you straight away, no bus, no ball, no bus, they're all wrong. Alright? Anyway, let's get to serious something. Yes, yourself as a radio presenter and also a great worker within the community. I know your work is with like estate and building and people. So obviously your contact with people are very important, and the radio even more important because it's sending a good message.
Absolutely, worldwide.
Right. First, I must start off with yourself. Firstly, your bone, your country.
Country is Jamaica.
Yes, Jamaica, and you arrived in the UK.
Came to the UK in 1967 as a young girl. Not much bigger than I am now.
You're bigger in the age.
Well,
yes,
absolutely right. So, most of my schooling was here, up north to start with, Manchester, and then later on, when my working life came about, I found myself in London. Very daunting at the time, but you get used to things. And music has always been in my bones. I mean, from home, I used to save a little pocket money. And most girls who buy makeup, I buy a vinyl, buy 7-inch, and go and play it on my parents' gram. And not even that, even if it wasn't my music, my parents used to have like Slayman, Ken Booth, and you know what I mean, Nicky Thomas, and then people. They say you listen to the foundation, and it's only when you grow up, mature yourself, and you realize the work that these guys put into
Put in
music,
music.
and I tell you, it just got rooted into my bones. I couldn't do without my music.
Right.
So it's ironic that I am here doing this for the pleasure of other people and myself as well, because I love it. So I'm sharing my music with the listeners.
Right, your work, you start off like as estate agent, yeah? And before you actually get to that stage, what was your work? What was your main aim when you came to England to do?
Well, my main aim was just to be successful, really. You know, you don't want to, you think to yourself, well, you see certain situations on the road and you think, I am not going to get myself in that. So you steer clear of that. Even if you weren't afraid of the law, you were afraid of your parents.
Right.
So
Right.
that alone put you off any badness if you had it in your mind. So anyway, came to London, and believe it or not, I office work I started off with, and I thought I'd get a liquor change. So what did I do? I went on the buses. Started to drive the buses, and in the end, it was something that was bugging me. I wanted to do. Got it out my system. I did that for 3.5 years.
Right.
And at the end of that, I thought, there's more I can do, you know, and I feel that the bus wasn't all for me.
Yeah.
So I left that, went back to a estate agency, and been there 20 years now. But
Wow.
in the meantime, music, in and out of music, playing in people's parties. You know, you go to the party and they have music put on, and nobody's really doing anything, you know, there's no real DJ. So I used to get up my fuck
It's
self
still in your blood, so
and,
yeah.
and go and put
Of
on
course.
some tune,
Yeah.
and you know, it just went on from there. And then later on in my life, came to London, met up with Kung Fu, and of course we shared the same interest,
Yes,
and I couldn't
yeah.
believe that music was literally, apart from breathing,
Yeah.
music was the
Link,
next best
it was
thing.
a link,
It
yes,
was a link.
yeah.
So it was ironic that I ended up playing music and ended up really being a radio presenter, and that was just the icing on the cake for me.
And when you first start in the radio work, right? You don't mind I ask you, where did you actually start from?
Radio work,
Yeah.
actually, to be honest, my radio work was with RJR. Cornell gave me a slot, albeit it's a late night one, because I was just starting out then, and it just went from there.
And I find that was it like easy when you got into it, as like you're playing the parties, and you know, because me personally, I've witnessed you play and I enjoy you play and I know how good you are, not because I'm here doing an interview with you, it's a fact. And on the radio, you seem to have that same kind of mentor about you, entertaining.
Well, that's what it's about. If you're not entertaining, you're not doing anything.
Right,
You're
but-
wasting your time.
True,
really,
true.
aren't
But
you?
you find that inside of the radio station and you know, having the people live, it's a big difference. Did it make a big difference to you?
Yes, it does. To actually get the feedback from the listeners is very important. Even if you feel like there's only one man listening, you're entertaining that one man. And if there's a crowd of you and one person out of that crowd said, thank you for an enjoyable show, that's what I need.
Right.
At least I've done my job.
Okay. So like when you actually was on Vibes FM, was it Vibes FM? RJ. Give yourself a slap, boy. Right. At that time, I think you and Kung Fu had a bond then. You really link up together within the music and the selection and so on. How did you really feel within yourself, both of you working together as someone that you met and have that musical kind of link together?
You know, in life you don't always meet somebody you click with immediately. And to find that, like you say, you bond, you have the same interest, was fantastic, really. So our love of music was one of the bonds that keeps us together, really.
Yeah, then you move on. You move on, but long before you move on, you had the opportunity to actually play alongside a lot of known name of DJs, especially one of our British top reggae, I would say distributor and dancehall ambassador, David Radigan.
Yes, I tell you what, that was nerve-wracking. And that was Kung Fu's doing, actually,
Right.
because the first show, he actually put on a show at a club called Lazy Jacks in Chiswick, But before that, my first outing was To the Rose.
Yeah.
Trust me, it was alongside Redman, Diamond's girl best friend, Redman, System.
Yeah, System, that's
And
right.
I was very nervous because I've only ever played like to a little room of
And
people,
party,
you know, and
yes.
this was nerve-wracking. But to be honest with you, I think I did a cracking job for my first time. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and to get compliments from people in the dance was nice as well. So
And that give you like even a bigger forward push.
yes, it did. It
Yeah,
did,
because
it
a lot of DJ start off and know the opportunity to play alongside people like Radigan. We have to use Radigan because Radigan is a great ambassador for
Absolutely.
reggae music. Yeah.
Yes.
So for you, surely that was a big boost for you to continue and go on.
You know, it was, and I did realize. Well, as I knew Radigan was there from foundation, but yeah, I played with Radigan, then it went on to Saxon, and then it went on to, like I said, Diamonds, and,
Yeah.
and to me, it wasn't the name of the people that made that I thought was a prestige.
Yeah.
It was just the fact that I was out entertaining
Yes.
and people were enjoying what I was doing.
And then
so,
even further so, Daddy Coxon, you know, which is Master of
you know,
England.
that was a fantastic evening, and he was an absolute gentleman to me. He fixed up everything, stepped aside, and let me get on with it, which is not something that I've experienced all along. Because what I find, I don't know, as a woman in the men's arena, really,
Yeah.
you know, DJ, they seem to crowd around. You know what I mean? And I don't understand like whether it's an intimidation thing, but I didn't enjoy it. And at one point I thought, I've had enough of this, I can't cope. I don't understand the mentality between you doing your stint,
Yeah.
but yet you're being crowded and you're being pushed along. And I don't know, maybe you can tell me,
Yes.
is that a behavior of...
It's not so much a behavior, it's a behavior, but it's a behavior of, wow, boy, this woman DJ good. And because you see, back in those days, when a DJ is playing good, you find a lot of DJs surround you.
Oh, okay.
And they impress and they want to see what you playing, look on your label and things like this. So it wasn't it wasn't that way of intimidating you in any bad way. It was more or less giving you, boy, yes, this
Okay.
woman is So you can take that as a good note, really. It wasn't something bad. So
Right,
you know,
okay.
and
But even like I said, I would still like to say that my most memorable performance, I think, was Morgan Heritage. We did a warm
I was
up
gonna
for
come
them
to that, yeah.
a few years ago, and again,
the young
it
after
just,
that.
yes, but fantastic show, and again, the warmth of the people. I mean, I don't know if there's many female DJs around, but I
right,
was
yeah.
privileged to be there and doing my little part.
Right, then we move on. Well, we could move on because there's a lot of names. See, I mean, you're up beside people. I think you met people like Marcia Griffiths, the Mighty Diamonds, you know, and Conor
Roy
Campbell.
and, yeah.
Little Roy. There's quite a few that you actually within the short time of you been a radio presenter and a DJ.
And
So-
you know what? Growing up, I'm going back to my young days, I used to hear Marcia and Bob.
Yeah.
You hear Ken Booth, Max Romeo, Johnny Clark. And to be honest with you, I never in my life thought that I would actually come face to face with these people.
That's reggae music for
And
you.
absolutely. And I was blown away really to think that I'm grown up to an adult hearing these people. To me, they're icons, you know.
Right.
So it was my absolute privilege and pleasure to meet these
And then
people.
Blessing, and then we come to Majestic Radio now. The work that's been doing Majestic Radio for within the last
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Ah, you know, really 4 years was longer than that.
Yeah. 2011. Yeah, coming up to 3.
Yeah, within alright, say 2.5 years, 3 years, right? Second for 3 years, yeah?
Yeah.
And within that time, you and Kung Fu have built like a kind of foundation of information.